me, Mario. Hello.
It's a me, Samuel K. Hello. Time to play one of my favorite video games of all time for about the millionth time in a row. It's kind of loud. Let's adjust the volume just a little bit before we get started, because it's pretty loud. Mario, I need you to pipe down.
Dear Mario, please come to the castle. I have baked a cake for you. Yours truly, Princess Toadstool. Peach.
Ciao! You've reached Princess Toadstool's castle via a warp pipe. Using the controller as a piece of cake. Press A to jump and B to attack. Press B to read signs too. Use the control stick in the center of the controller to move Mario around. Now head for the castle. Princess Toadstool's castle is just ahead. Press A to jump, Z to crouch, B to punch. Read a sign or grab something. Press B again to throw something you're holding. Alright. Look.
I'm a little baby!
So yeah, this is one of my absolute favorite video games of all time. I got it... I think this game came out in 1996, and I probably got it in 1997. Because my family didn't have a whole lot of money when I was growing up, so I usually got consoles a generation late for Christmas. Where is it? Here it is. I have probably played Mario 64 in my life a couple hundred times. No, probably not a couple hundred times, but I have definitely played this game start to finish, all 120 stars, more than a dozen times in my life, I would guess. I'm going to make a little adjustment to the controls that I have set up. I am playing this on an emulator, but I literally own a copy of Mario 64 on nearly every system it's ever been released on. Hey Tyler, how's it going, man? Do you want to jump on Discord and talk about Mario with me, or do you just want to hang out in the chat? Alright, cool. Fucking A, let's add Tyler to the mix, why not?
Hello.
Hey, what's happening, bitch?
Not much.
Here, I'll just share my screen with you here so you can see it without a delay. How's it going, man?
I'm pretty okay. I was just, playing some Tony Hawk's Underground.
Oh, hell yeah. I saw you've been playing that PlayStation emulator for a bit.
Yeah, I, played around with Tony Hawk's Underground. Not nearly as good as I remember it being, but I think that's mostly because I was, like, a teen who thought it was, oh, wow, this is so cool, it's Tony Hawk.
Hate to interrupt you, Tyler, but wow! You're smack in the middle of a battlefield.
Whoa.
You'll find the Power Stars that Bowser stole inside the painting worlds. First, talk to the Bob-omb Buddy. Press B to talk. He'll certainly help you out and so will his comrades in other areas. To read signs, stop, face them, and press... You've told me how to read signs 19 times. I'm just going for it, whatever. This isn't a comprehensive run or anything, Tyler. I mean, it is going to be all 120 stars, but I'm not going to read all the fucking dialogues and shit. Who's got time for that?
Who's got time for it?
Now, Tony Hawk's
Sure.
Underground was the one with Jackass in it, right?
It had Bam Margera. I don't know if it had any other members of the Jackass crew in it.
I may be thinking of a different game, because there were a lot of, like, Jackass sensibilities in one of the Tony Hawk games.
I would say both Underground 1 and 2 seem to be fairly Jackassy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember really liking those games.
Yeah, it
The
was
Tony
fun to
Hawk
have, like,
games in general.
It's fun to have like a story mode.
Yeah. I was always, I always wanted to skateboard, but I was always too fat and clumsy to do it. So, I played a lot of the Tony Hawk games to live vicariously through them.
Oh yeah, same here. Also, both of us lived in like incredibly rural areas where like half the roads are like gravel roads.
Right? There's no place to skateboard, really. Like, there was a skate park built in my hometown, actually, probably 3 years after I graduated high school. So if you wanted to skate in my hometown, you had to wait until about 2007 to do it.
You know, when the craze was just starting.
Yeah, when the craze was just getting into it. It was one of those things that all the kids were talking about at that point was skating board. This is the first boss fight in the game, Tyler. What do you think of this fella?
It's pretty alright.
He's fucking dead.
Yeah.
Look, he's not made out of polygons, he's made out of a 2D sprite that always faces the camera. That's how they made him a sphere. There's, like, a lot in this game that I didn't, like, notice as a kid. And then I got older and I looked at it and I was like, look at this fucking shit, he's a sprite.
It's smart.
Yeah, it's great. Hey, Justin. Justin Wobbs. How are you? Wait, was this foot race with Koopa the Quick? Okay, cool. Let's fucking embarrass this son of a bitch. Koopa the Quick. More like Koopa the Slow, am I right?
You tell him. Get him.
What was your...
This is like the third time I've watched you play through Mario.
I know! I think this is gonna be the fourth Mario 64 playthrough on my YouTube channel. But, like, okay, so I started thinking about Mario 64 a couple of weeks ago, right? Because, I don't even know why it came up, but I was just thinking about Mario 64. And then, Dunkey did a review of it the other day.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, shit, it's time for me to play it again. I literally play this game about once a year, like, to completion. It's... This and the first Dark Souls are my favorite 2 video games ever made.
There's a lot of similarities between those 2 games.
Yeah. You use a controller. There's a castle in both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Backflipping.
Yeah. They both have mustachioed Italian men who say wahoo.
That's true. What was your first experience with Mario 64, Tyler?
My cousin had it in 64, and he had Mario 64, and so I just, like, we would take turns playing it, and I've never owned an actual copy of Mario 64 myself. I've, never beaten the game, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god. I mean, that comes as a surprise to me, but, like... Like, I've beaten it so many times, I've probably beaten it a couple of times for you at this point, so you can take a couple of mine.
Okay.
Yeah, when I was a kid, we talked about, like, I talked about how my family didn't really have a lot of money, so I didn't get a lot of video games when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And so I just play the same ones over and over and over again. And, this and Ocarina of Time, I, like... practically could live in these worlds. Like, I know where everything's at. Like, when Ocarina of Time came out on the 3DS, I bought it and replayed it, and I just thought, let's see if I can get 100% in this game without a guide. And absolutely, completely 100% beat Ocarina of Time without a guide, because I'd played it so many times as a kid. And I mean, like, I got all the secret weapons, all the upgrades, all the Skulltulas.
That's pretty impressive. I think Legend of Zelda or Ocarina of Time is probably the game that, like, I played the most to completion as a kid, but I'd never beat it because I didn't want to. I don't know. I didn't have the patience to like do like the big Goron sword stuff. And, like, things like that.
Yeah. That one's kind of a bitch too, because there's like 2 timed like run across the map missions in that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the turtle shell. Check this out. This is a speedrun technique, Tyler. It isn't really. This is really slow, but it's fun. Come on. Oh, damn it! Fuck you, Chain Chomp.
See all the stuff they're doing with Mario Maker 2.
I haven't seen much of it. They did like a mini direct or something though, didn't they?
Yeah, it was like a 10-minute direct. Wednesday, maybe? I think it was Wednesday.
Yeah, it was sometime this week. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm pretty interested in it because I played a lot of Mario Maker. That 100 Lives challenge was like the perfect thing to do. Like, oh, I'm really bored and I want to play a video game.
Yeah.
And then you put on the 100 Lives challenge and play through Mario Maker.
Yeah, I didn't have a Wii U, so I never played the first Mario Maker, so I'm pretty excited to get the second one.
Oh man, I think you'll like it quite a bit. You can run all the way up this hill if you don't jump or anything. If you jump or try to slide or try to long jump or something, it's all over. You'll never make it. Yeah, Mario Maker had a lot of really fun features that made really stupid levels possible. A lot of puzzle levels where you legit had to like observe your surroundings and solve a puzzle, which I liked.
Yeah, there's so much there's so much going on like already with like the first Mario Maker, and the stuff they're adding for the second one just makes it. Like, I don't know, like, they've got, like, multiplayer stuff now where you can, like, do co-op levels online.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and, like, you can, like, they tag all the stuff, like, where they have a tag system now, so you can be like, oh, this level is specifically for, like, multiplayer, or you can, like, set limits and stuff for, like, how many people can play, or if you, like, or you can also do, I think, like, multiplayer, like, well, I guess, like, regular multiplayer, where, like, kind of like go back and forth between the 2 people as well.
Oh, kind of like just player 1 is Luigi and...
Yeah, I think so. Except like I think you all played at the same time. I think you could do that and like try to fuck each other over to get to the end. What else was there? There was they're doing Super Mario 3D World. Like a skin that's like completely separate from all the other stuff. It's apparently pretty different. I never played 3D World, so
3D World was good.
Yeah, I liked 3D Land, but I didn't.
3D World was the one with the cat suits, right?
Yeah, they have the cat suit in it.
And 3D Land was the one that was that, but on 3DS.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was good too. The only ones I haven't played are a couple of the new Super Mario Bros. U games, I think.
Yeah, I actually just, like, when it came out on Switch recently,
Whoops.
I had New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe or whatever it is, and that's what got me excited about playing Mario Maker, because I was like, I played through that, and it's just It's just good 2D platforming.
Yeah, which we don't get a whole hell of a lot of anymore.
Yeah.
Because, like, we had, Ori and the Blind Forest and Chip Off Whomp's Block. Okay. I have to look and see which star I'm doing. You can do any of them, but I try to go in order for the most part.
Yeah.
But, what the fuck was I even talking about? Oh, Ori and the Blind Forest and, like, Hollow Knight and stuff. But those aren't necessarily, like, strictly platformers. They're Metroidvania-style things.
Yeah.
It's nice to just have a game once in a while where, like, the whole thing is jumps and exploration. Check this out. You can jump right through their face if you time it right. Didn't know that, did you, Tyler? It works on him, too, but it's harder.
I'm pretty sure that you've showed me that before.
I've probably showed you other times. No, okay, he's harder to do it on. You can do it, though. Just trust that I can, if I want to. Here, I'll try it again. Nope! Okay. Just gonna kill him now. I love, in this game, like every kind of 3D style game in the 90s, they didn't quite know what to do with textures. And so they're like these super realistic, like rock and stone and brick textures everywhere, but like everything else is just kind of flat cartoon colored.
Yeah. It's a good aesthetic.
Like when you look at Whomp's hands, he's got these like weird purple marble hands, and they're spheres for some reason. What did I... Tip of the fortress, okay. Cool. I don't need to be collecting coins then. See, I have a method, Tyler. Do you know what that method is?
You collect 100 coins whenever you do the red coin challenge.
Yeah, you know it, man. You have been with me on this journey before. Oh, shit. I did that deliberately to show that, you can use coins to replenish your life, Tyler.
Wow. Thank you.
I don't think I'd
Amazing.
mentioned that yet in the stream, so all those newbies out there who've never played, they're like, "Oh no, how do you get your health back?" There's one way.
Welcome to the world of three-dimensional gaming.
Yeah, look at his fucking hands. This weird, like, marble texture. It's like those... Did you ever get those tapes from the video store? The Nickelodeon Snick tapes?
No.
There were tapes that just had, like Snick on it. Remember Snick?
Yeah.
You could get a tape from the video store that just had Snick on it. And it was like an officially licensed Nickelodeon product. And it'd have like an episode of Pete and Pete, an episode of Roundhouse, maybe an All That. I don't remember what all was on Snick, but they also had like those interstitial commercial things where like Pete and Pete would be like, "You're on the big orange couch," and "Welcome to Snick." But they also included like amazing 3D animation. And it would be like a silver ball bearing rolling across a checkerboard floor with like the reflections and shit, and like and then it'd roll over like a marble countertop to show all the textures and stuff it could do.
Yeah, that's so good. Like that stuff, and like the like random 3D graphics they would throw on the front of like school textbooks, like that.
Yeah,
that's the good stuff.
And it's just like cones and shit, but made out of jade.
Yeah,
Like-
cones and spheres, and like lines that just kind of like loop around and stuff. Like, oh whoa.
You're supposed to use the cannon to get that one, Tyler, but you can just jump up there. You get the angle right. It's another little speedrun trick. There'd be like a big grid with like lasers shooting everywhere. And then like a bunch of cones and a pyramid. and then it'd just say math.
U.S. history.
Yeah. Earth science. You know, those giant obsidian obelisks that we have everywhere. These things have a name, and I can't think of it off the top of my head. But they're not just like obstacles, they have names. And I think in the American release, it just has a Japanese name, because they didn't bother to, like, translate that one.
I feel like Mario's pretty good about reusing characters, but I don't think those have ever made it into anything else that I can think of.
They have. They just, you know, weren't creatures, apparently. They're just a thing that pushes you off of things.
Yeah.
But, you know, for this game, they decided, let's give it a name. Fuck it.
So you can feel bad for how they're stuck there constantly, just going in and going out. Nothing else they can do.
That's just their life now. Man, he respawned quick, didn't he? I wasn't even looking. When did he come back?
I don't know.
Weird. I'm using the newest version of Project 64. I update my version of Project 64 every time I play Mario 64. Oh, look how many coins I got! Gotcha!
Got who?
I don't know. You, I guess, Tyler. You're the only one here. Wasn't a very good prank, I guess, but...
Made you look at the number 69.
That's a new thing. It's like when you make an OK sign and hold it down below your belt.
Yeah.
I made you look at the number 69 and now you're gay. That's how that works. Oh shit! I've got some drift in the Xbox controller I'm using. And I didn't realize that Mario was slowly walking while I was standing there. I need a new controller, Tyler. This one's really gone through its paces.
Time to spend $100-something on an Elite controller.
God, I want that
Mario
controller.
64.
Yes! Can you imagine?
No one will have ever played Mario 64 as well as you'll play it with that controller.
I think that controller's like $170 or something. I really want one because they're nice. I mean, it's hard to justify the expense though because it is super expensive for just a game controller.
Yeah.
But
I mean, if you like playing video games a lot, then might as well, I guess. You know, I don't know what the difference is. I guess I'd have to just like play with one to like feel the difference, but I can't imagine it being like 4 times the cost of a normal controller.
Right. I would only buy one if like I were lumping it in with the cost of a new gaming PC or something, you know? Like, which is what I'm going to do when I build a new computer, is buy one. I've used Danielle's a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I don't know why she has one. She never plays video games, but she had a boyfriend who helped her build a gaming computer. And he just insisted on her buying that. And I think I've probably used it more than she has. But, you know, because girls don't play video games, Tyler.
Of course, we all know that. It's just law.
But, it's heavy, and, like, everything that is plastic on a regular controller is metal with this controller, so it just feels, like, substantial when you're holding it, you know? Like,
Yeah.
it's heavy, and the buttons feel really, like, sturdy and nice. I've also seen that they're, like, machined really well, so you don't get drift and stuff into the, in the, sticks. I mean, I'm sure you do eventually, because all mechanics fail eventually, but... We're all... Oh, how many tries do you think this is going to take me, Tyler?
2.
Oh, shit! Just off the lip. Okay. We got this.
And now either you have to prove me right, or you have to miss on purpose.
I have to miss on purpose just so I'll be right. You'll be wrong. Because I have a debilitating mental disorder where I can't allow others to be right or look better than me, ever. Urgh. Damn you. There we go. You were right, Tyler. Good job.
Wow.
Remember that part in Labyrinth? Damn you, Jarethan. Damn me too.
Nope, I don't remember that.
Hoggle says it.
I need to rewatch that movie. I remember like watching it as a kid and being like terrified of the like the MC Escher room or whatever, like where there's just a bunch of stairs going everywhere.
And like David Bowie's walking around singing like a ghost in that room.
Yeah, and he's like coming after like a defenseless little baby.
Yeah. It's pretty scary.
Yeah, I love it. From the creator of Sesame Street.
Yes. Hold on. Hang on. You've got to... There we go.
Yeah.
I was always terrified of the fire gang in Labyrinth. Hey, her head didn't come off! They're like trying to rip her fucking head off. Ugh. Yeah, the fire gang was really scary. The thing that really scares me now as an adult is that part where Jennifer Connelly like shows up in her room and there's that old woman in there and she's like, "There's Charlie Bear, and you gotta take this with you, and you've gotta have one of these." And she's like, that old woman has like all kinds of shit stacked up on her back, and she's like slowly transforming Jennifer Connelly into this weird turtle hermit thing. It scared the shit out of me.
It really was a good movie. I mean, obviously things went fine for Jim Henson, or at least for a few more years.
Yeah.
But it sucks that movie like wasn't like a huge hit when it came out. Like I know it like sent him into a big depression.
Right, and I feel like it's gotten the response that he wanted, like when it came out on video and it got this big cult following.
Yeah.
I have to start this over again. Goodbye. If you miss one of those red coins, you essentially have to start over. Let's see how many tries this one takes you, because this one's a bitch and a half. I didn't get this one for the longest time when I was a kid, because it just made me so mad to try. But, like, you just have to be patient, Tyler.
Okay, I'll be patient.
There we go. Yippee! Have you ever heard Charles Martinet's story about how he got to do the voice of Mario?
No, I don't think so.
He went into a place and they were like, "Oh, he's a Brooklyn plumber," so everybody was going like, "Hey, welcome to the Mushroom Kingdom. It's me, Mario. How you doing?" And so Charles Martinet just decided, like, oh, Mario's supposed to be, like, kindly and nice. So he just, it's a me, Mario. And then he started talking about, "Let's make the pizza, and I'll chase you with some spaghetti." Like, it was just fucking demented, the shit that he starts talking about. It's like really frightening, like a scary Italian man chasing a child with a pizza. Like, it's a really weird interview. But that's what got him hired.
God bless.
Being scary. So this is one of my least favorite levels to get 100 coins in.
It's just because it's difficult. Like, is there any particular thing that makes it hard? Or
It's not difficult. It's just tedious.
Oh.
So a lot of the coins are in these rings in the sky.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and the easiest way to get this star, you have to shoot yourself through the middle. If you just point right at the middle coin, and then fire, and then don't touch anything, you'll get it every time. A lot of people say that one's really hard, because you have to, like... I bet no, if you just point at the middle thing and then don't touch anything, it's fine. But you've got to get a bunch of these coins, but the problem is you can't see them until you're close to them. And it's just a real pain in the butt.
Nintendo, you gotta work on that draw distance. What's your problem?
Come on, Ninty. I've really wanted to do like a super ambitious, like 100% run of Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
Because I have done it, like, in my spare time, but it would be one of those things that, like, it'd take me years, man. There's so many stars in that game.
Yeah.
And I don't really know where all of them are. I mean, there's moons, it's not stars in that game, Tyler.
Except for one place.
Oh, yeah, that's true. You've got a Switch, don't you?
Yeah.
You played Mario Odyssey?
I have. I've beaten, like, the story. I haven't, like, collected all the moons. 'Cause I don't know, I just moved on afterwards.
You can get something really cool when you get them all, Tyler.
Oh, yeah.
The Odyssey turns gold.
Wow.
That's literally all that happens. But I did it.
Good job. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Hold on. Come here, you piece of shit. He's got a blue coin.
I don't know. Killing him with his own shell. It feels like if you were to, like, rip somebody's arm off and beat them to death.
Beat them to death with it. Also, his shells are his clothes, because it shows him in his underwear running away.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's more like if you pulled somebody's shirt off and strangled them with it. Like, put a billiard ball in it, in their own sock. Beat him to death. It's one thing I like about my friendship with you, Tyler, is we can talk about beating a man to death with his own sock with a billiard ball in it, and we'll get giggles out of both of us.
Well, it's, you know, you gotta learn to laugh. What's funnier than that?
What's funnier than brutal, vicious murder? Look at the way Mario walks with this box. He looks like an idiot. Whoa. No, I missed a coin there. I'm gonna be real fucking pissed, Tyler, if I don't have enough coins that I get on the ground down here. And I have to go flying around up there more.
69 again.
Hey! Oh. Sorry, Chain Chomp. Got in your way. I'll apologize.
He's basically a dog. You're not gonna, like, get mad at a dog.
Yeah, exactly.
If you do, you're a monster. Anybody who's ever gotten mad at a dog, you step in some dog shit, you don't get mad, okay?
Man, I was watching Hoarders the other day.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I love watching Hoarders. But this lady, she, they start talking about, like, what a mean and awful mom this lady was, right? And, she's like, her kids are saying, like, oh, she used to tell us all the time that if she believed in abortion, she would have killed every one of us. And, she used to, like, you know, hit us and beat us and withhold food and shit, and talk about how awful she was to her kids.
Yeah.
And then, like, she's just like, my kids don't want nothing to do with me, they're all ingrates! You know, doing that kind of shit. Because she's an evil monster. But, then they start going through her house, and I'm like, her, like, a bunch of her kids actually, like, showed up to help clean up the house, you know? Because they're decent, ordinary people. And then, they go into this room in the house, and there's, like, 20 bird cages laying around. And in each bird cage, there's just a dead bird, but not just a dead bird, it's like a skeleton.
Oh
so,
my god.
And, like, every cage has multiple bird skeletons in it, and, like, they clearly just died of, like, starving to death, you know? Because, like, there's, like, empty food bowls in the cages and stuff, so it's not like, you know, they just kind of died and she left them in there. And then they start cleaning out the birdcage room, and there's just shit piled up in there, and they start pulling stuff out of the birdcage room, and they find dog cages underneath with dog skeletons in them.
No.
Yeah! And I was so fucking mad, Tyler. I was seething. She was awful to her kids. She was awful to these animals. I was, like, violently angry. And, at the end of the episode, they weren't able to save her house because she'd completely ruined it by hoarding and just having, like, piss and shit everywhere. And, like, the roof was caving in, and, like, there was no plumbing in the house anymore. Like, all this awful shit was going on in this house.
Yeah.
And, she, had Adult Protective Services called on her, and they emptied out the house against her will, threw all of her shit away, and stuck her in a nursing home by herself. I said, fucking good. She didn't deserve any help. Monster. Oh, here's the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life, by the way.
Oh yeah, you're terrified of the eel.
I really am, like... If you took that, like... If you took, like, the lie detector equipment and put it on me, you would notice my heartbeat and, like, my hands sweating and shit, like, right now, because... I'm actually frightened right now because I'm so scared of this thing.
How did you feel about the new eels in Odyssey?
Not scary at all.
Oh.
There's just
this one.
Oh god, I'm trying to lure him out of there because if you get close enough to him, eventually he'll leave. Oh, I'm getting chills, Tyler. I really am. And like, I know the eel is supposed to be scary. Oh, is he gone?
Looks like it.
Okay, we're going in here. What? Oh god, we gotta get in there before he comes back. Tyler! No, I've legitimately had nightmares about this eel, like, for most of my life now. This game came out in 96, I played it in 97, so...
Yeah. 22 years.
22 years I've been frightened of this eel. And, like, probably the last nightmare I had about the eel has been within the last, like, year or two. Like, it's really upsetting to me.
It's like me and the Scoleri brothers.
Oh, are you actually really scared of the Scoleri brothers?
I just would have like sleep paralysis nightmares as a kid, like all the time, that featured them for some reason.
It's the Scoleri brothers! Tried him for murder! Gave him the chair!
Do something.
Man, I love Ghostbusters too. It's so shitty. Ugh. Okay, after this one, man, we're done with the eel. I kind of decided to do this one, because this is technically course... Oh, this is course 3, never mind. I thought this was course 4, and I thought, oh, we'll just get this one out of the way.
It's a sign of maturity.
I don't want to do, Here, look. Look at this! Look! It's too scary, Tyler. Look, he's... That son of a bitch. Ah! See?!
Oh, he killed you.
Even just touching him kills ya! Mamma mia, indeed. Oh, God. Tyler, you got a Xanax?
Sorry, no. I've got weed.
Alright, cool. One of the most fun times I've ever had was taking a bunch of Xanax and drinking a bunch of beers and playing Gears 4. Don't do drugs if anybody's watching this. I would never condone the recreational use of anxiety medication like Xanax. But if you do, you can do worse than to... Well, also don't mix alcohol and medications like that. You know? Probably a bad idea. Anyway, what I'm saying is, drink responsibly. We'd taken probably 2 Xanax apiece. We didn't take a lot, but we'd also had like 10 beers. So I was pretty drunk on top of the Xanax. And I kept doing Marcus Phoenix impressions, you know, from Gears of War.
Mm-hmm.
And my buddy and I, we were playing co-op on Gears of War, just on the couch together, both of us whacked out of our minds. And I kept going, "We need to get across this pavilion. That's where the Locusts are attacking. This is war." There we go.
Yeah.
I faced my fears. I did it, everyone.
And you're stronger for it.
Thank you, Tyler. There's one of these that I think we have to come back for. This is Treasure of the Ocean Cave. Okay. Because one of them, I think, requires the metal suit, which we don't have yet.
Yeah, I think so.
And I'm pretty sure there's a way around it, but the way around it is hard. Because I think if you get right in the middle of this, you can just swim right down here and get it. But most of the time, you'll get pushed out.
Oh, so close.
Yeah. I got pushed out. Oh well. Ah! Hate him. Also, this little area when I was a kid kind of gave me the creeps, and I don't know why. This is the kind of, like, underwater cave. There's not even really particularly anything scary in here. It's just some Goombas and these things that fall over that you just continue walking to avoid. I remember I read a review of this game when it first came out, when I really wanted to play it. And the review said that the music in Jolly Roger Bay was a religious experience.
Yeah,
And
sure.
it's really pretty music, and it was probably back in those times, but like, thinking of it now with my 30-year-old brain, it's kind of a funny thing to say about like this goofy MIDI music. Not that it's bad.
Koji Kondo's watching this very stream.
Koji Kondo, you know I'm a fan. I would never, ever say anything bad about Koji Kondo. Except that if I ever met him in the same room, I'd kill him. Like if I was in the same room as like a centipede or...
Koji Kondo's alright. I think I liked him better when he was less successful. It was just Koji Studio Apartment.
Oh my god. Can I point this out to you, Tyler? Something I've thought ever since I was a kid?
What?
What's a ship look like to you?
I don't know.
Goofy.
Goofy?
Okay, so there's his nose.
Yeah.
There's his eyes. Isn't it kind of shaped like Goofy's head?
Sure, yeah.
Alright, fuck you too, Tyler.
What?
I've always thought that the ship looked like Goofy ever since I was a little kid.
My god, you're right.
I've peeled the veil from your eyes. Now you see the Goofy ship too. I'm sorry I had such a visceral reaction to you. Not jumping onto that. Fuck you, Tyler. Taking my Goofy ship and I'm going home.
You know, if you look really close at Mario, he kind of looks like a Mickey Mouse.
What? I read somewhere once that like in a worldwide poll, Mario was more recognizable than Mickey Mouse.
Good.
And I don't know the validity of that, but
Well, they're both more recognizable than our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
wow, Tyler.
That's that's something I remember hearing in the sermons multiple times, like just preachers being real upset about this fact.
Mickey Mouse?
About like people in other countries recognizing Mickey Mouse or Mario more than they recognize.
More than they recognize Jesus. I mean, it stands to reason. There are a lot of world religions that worship Mario and Mickey Mouse. Which do you prefer, Tyler?
Out of the three?
Yeah. Mario,
guess
Jesus, or Mickey Mouse?
I guess Mario.
Okay. I'll remember that when you apply to work at Disney at some point in your animation career, and I will play them this clip. Now I've got you by the short hairs, Hendrix. If you give me $50,000, I'll delete the tape.
I kind of don't ever want to work for Disney.
Yeah, I've heard that working for Disney is kind of a horrible, soulless experience.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's like plenty of people who like make shows that, you know, are funded by Disney that are, good shows and they have good times making the shows. I don't know. If I had to like choose, I feel like contributing to the whole like Disney owns everything and makes everything stuff. Like I'd kind of like to not do that.
Just morally, you don't think that you could work for Disney.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I've forgotten where 2 of the red coins are in this level, Tyler. Go for a look around. There might be a couple in shells down here that I missed. I got them up on the ship, which I should have saved for last, because that's where the star spawns, but... I'll find them, Tyler.
They were stolen by Mickey Mouse and Jesus Christ.
Damn it! Stay away from me, you wheel.
They heard what we were saying. They didn't like it.
Oh, there's one. Can't believe I forgot that one. I would love to see a sermon where a preacher like lists every character that was more recognizable than Jesus from the
Master Chief.
Yeah, right. Moving on to Disney, Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, Goofy, Goofy's son Max,
PJ, his friend.
PJ, but strangely, not Pete.
I rewatched Goofy movie recently.
I saw that.
Pretty good movie.
Yeah, it's when did I watch it last? The Goofy movie is a very weird thing because it wasn't released on DVD or something, wasn't it?
It has been released on DVD. It's never been put out on Blu-ray or anything high definition, including like I bought it like digitally online, and like the best quality I could get is standard definition, but it was widescreen. So
that's so weird.
Or wait, no, it wasn't widescreen. It was full screen.
God. Yeah, wasn't that movie like a pretty big success for them?
I mean, I don't know. I didn't really look in to see, like, I assumed it was because they had a sequel, but the sequel was also direct-to-video and 5 years later, so...
Well, I saw the Goofy movie in theaters when I was a kid, you know? Like...
Yeah.
Where the fuck is this last coin? I, for the life of me, can't remember where it's at, Tyler, and this isn't a bit. No, this is not the Vor level. I don't think there is a Vor level in Mario 64. Oh no, you can get eaten by a big fish in Tiny Huge Island, can't you? Oh. Or is he thinking of Jabu Jabu's belly?
Or is he thinking of the other popular Mario game, Mario 64?
Or Mario 64, yes. Forgot about that one. The cool thing about red coins is they don't have any draw distance on them, so you can see them from really far away. But I don't know which one I'm missing, so I don't know which direction to look in. Is it in one of these shells? I thought I got both of these, but...
Can't you usually kind of like see a shadow if they're in one of them?
Maybe. I'm waiting to be sure, Tyler. Come on, open up. We'll find it eventually, man. I did this just fine when I was 11 years old. I can do it this time, too.
I believe it.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't know why I said it like that, like a weird creep. Thank you, Tyler.
You're very welcome, Samuel.
Yes, thank you. How encouraging. Ah! No! Oh. Is there one in here?
Maybe.
Do 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 do. Son of a bitch, this is really making me scratch my noodle.
You already got the one that like requires the cannon, right?
Did I?
Maybe doesn't. I don't know.
Oh, is there one up there on one of these towers?
I think so.
Is there? There's an extra man on top of one of those.
Oh.
I mean, I got the hardest star in this level, which is 100 coins, because there's not really a lot of coins in this level.
Yeah. Oh. Well. I'll be damned.
Oh my god. It's inside this clam. I knew I missed a clam! No! I was trying to do a long jump onto the ship from there. Tyler, I was trying to show off and I was hoisted by my own petard.
Worst one to be hoisted by.
I hate getting that. I hate that damn petard.
Gotta stop just wearing the petard in general, I'd say.
Exactly.
You can't be hoisted by it.
Also, that's an outdated term. Petard's a slur these days.
Oh, I was not aware. I don't even know what a petard is. I just keep thinking of like a leotard, but something slightly different.
I think that a petard is it's like a jousting lance, isn't it?
Oh, I see. Now I got your joke.
Yeah.
I thought you were being serious for a second.
No. I was making one of those edgy Rick and Morty jokes. That's coming back in September.
Oh.
I like that television show as one of those TV shows that I very rarely say I like because I don't want to get lumped in with the other fans.
Yeah. That show and like, I don't know, Invader Zim or something.
Invader Zim, yeah, that's one that I usually keep quiet about.
I feel like everybody who, like, all the annoying fans of Invader Zim are now, like, normal adults now, so it's not really a big deal.
They've moved on to, like, Game of Thrones or something.
Yeah. They no longer XD at waffles.
LOL. Maybe they watch Family Guy now.
Hmm.
I don't know. God, Invader Zim's some funny shit.
Yeah.
Squid Cop is one of my favorite jokes on that show. Where at the end of it he goes back to the ocean and Zim and Gur just stand on the shore and watch a man drown. It's such a horrible, dark joke in a children's show. Gur says, like, he didn't come up out of the water. And then Zim's like, yeah, let's go home.
So good. Yeah. One of my favorite jokes from that show is a similarly just like dark joke that like they just kind of like pepper in the background, not really wanting anybody to notice. Is like Gur just like it's implied that he was like out clubbing all night. He gets dropped off at home by a car full of like giggling girls.
Oh yeah!
And then they like peel out and like off screen you hear a crash.
You hear a
noise,
crash and
just,
screaming.
like, yeah, and then just like a horn, like somebody's like head is just laying on it.
Yeah! That's in the Halloween episode, right? Like,
Yeah, I think so.
yeah, that's a really good joke. A couple of my favorite gags, they had to do because the studio wouldn't let them kill a character on screen. And so, like, they had to show that they were all right at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
And,
Like Higgins.
yeah, he dies at the bottom of an elevator shaft when the elevator crashes to the bottom. And they just wanted to end it there. And, like, just imply that Higgins died. And they were like, you can't do that, you have to show that he's okay. And so he just, like, suddenly he can fly. And he flies out. And it, like, there's, like, a heavy metal chord, and it goes, Higgins! There was the one where they have, okay, so the character Keith, when Zim gets his best friend Keith,
Yeah.
they were okay to show Keith getting his eyeballs ripped out of his skull, but him falling off a fence at the end, they had to show that he was okay. And so they just put a line in there saying, like, or they had to go back into the episode and put a line in there where Keith says, "You don't like waffles?" or something like that.
Yeah.
But they also edited in Gurr stirring the bowl of waffles as he said that, going, "Doody-doody-doo!" Like, for no reason they put that back in there.
Yeah, like
Just-
just looming ominously, like he's like some sort of puppet master.
Right! It's so stupid. But, yeah, very funny television show, that Invader Zim. I do this to my dog all the time, and it's a reference to that show. The episode where the Girl Scout gets her foot stuck in a hole in Zim's backyard, or in his front yard, and they send the police to help her, and one of the police officers comes up and he goes, "Oh, goodness gracious, look at you!" I do that to my dog pretty frequently. You can walk all the way around, Tyler, but this is quicker.
Just like Donkey. Wow.
Now, Donkey did a trick when he did mine. I did mine the safe way.
Safeway, I love that store.
I've never been to a Safeway. They don't have them where I'm from.
Like,
Is it like a
fine.
CVS?
No, I'd say it's more like I don't know, maybe like a Kroger? Like it's I don't know,
so
like,
it's just like a regular old grocery store.
it's like a like a grocery store, but it's like I don't know, they sell maybe not Kroger. What would be like an upscale grocery store? Because that's kind of what it is.
Oh,
Like it's not
so like
it's
like a market district or something.
maybe. Like I feel like it's a middle ground, like it's not cheap enough to be like Target, but it's not like highfalutin enough to be like Whole Foods.
Like
or
Whole
something.
Foods. It's right in the middle between Target and
Yeah.
Whole Foods. Although Target's groceries aren't cheap, man.
Yeah, true.
You buying groceries at Target? What's your deal?
I get all my groceries delivered to me from Foodsco,
Ooh.
which is just like cheap
Whoops.
Kroger.
Yeah, I go to Kroger, and our Kroger delivers, so I do a lot of that. Or the click list. Ever do a click list?
No.
That's where you buy all your stuff that you want online, and you go there, and then like some teenager loads it into the back of your car for you. It's very nice. I gotta beat this penguin in a race. Is Toad one of those dangerous hip-hop thugs? Unhappy Fiddle asked. What kind of dangerous hip-hop thug? Because, I don't think he is. One thing I know is that Toad loves rock and roll.
Do all genres of music have their own thugs? Are there dangerous country western thugs?
You know what? Johnny Cash.
Oh yeah.
That's outlaw country, man. That's, you know, Merlin Willie and Billy Joe Shaver. They're the country thugs.
Yeah. Dangerous jazz thugs.
That'd be like Mr. Bungle, I guess. They do some experimental jazz metal occasionally.
Sure, yeah.
A saxophone will appear in a Mr. Bungle song occasionally. It's a frosty slide for 8 red coins, Tyler. Can you believe it?
Whoa.
Oh man, did you see, speaking of frosty, 50-cent Frosties at Dairy Queen all summer?
No, I didn't, but there aren't any Dairy Queens around here anyways.
Oh. What?!
I'm missing out.
Son of a bitch, Tyler.
I know. There's no Dairy Queens. There's no Cracker Barrels.
I would
What am I supposed to do with myself?
blow my fucking brains out.
I cannot live in a world without hot eats or cool treats.
I just want to be treated right! It's not so much to ask! Yeah, man. Oh, Jesus. Now I want Cracker Barrel, dude.
I'm constantly wanting Cracker Barrel.
I'm telling you, it's the comfort food restaurant of comfort food restaurants.
Yeah.
Every now and then, like, my family will be in town and they'll go, oh, let's go to Cracker Barrel. And I'll be like, fuck yeah. Oh. All day breakfast. And not only that, man, but just like chicken and dumplings.
Oh, yeah.
Shit, yeah. And they have chicken livers too on their menu.
Oh, man.
Where else do you know where you can get chicken livers?
There's
mean,
a place
like-
where I grew up that I could get chicken livers, but like now, nowhere. Nobody has chicken livers, and they're like better than like chicken tenders or any better than any of it.
Chicken livers are so goddamn good. It's one of those old man foods for sure. Like, I feel like there's like a definite sense of being elderly in loving chicken livers as much as I do.
You know, you just gotta embrace it. Like my favorite cereal is Raisin Bran, and I love oatmeal cookies. So.
Oh man, I love an oatmeal cookie. You're right. Also, my favorite cereal is Special K Red Berries, so I'm not too far off of Raisin Bran. Mine are corn flakes, but there's strawberries in.
Honestly, any fruit added to cereal makes it so much better.
Oh, for sure. I'm a big cereal fan. There were many days when I was first living in my first apartment that I had by myself, where it was just like cereal for dinner night again. Yep, and that's the way I like it.
Yeah.
How many of these have I got? 5? Okay. I'm kind of slowly remembering where all of them are in this level, too. Like, there's one there. Think I can make that jump, Tyler?
Yes. Oh, I guess you didn't.
Well, guess I made a monkey out of both of us, huh? Whoopsie. I was under the impression that there's a breeze there that picks you up when you jump there. Apparently I misremembered that. Go ahead and take this one while I'm down here. I did the hard thing, though. I got the 100 coins in this level, too. Which isn't that hard, but you have to get most of them from the slide. And if you get them on the slide, you just lost. Because it's impossible to get them, to get the star after that. Because if you make it to the bottom of the slide and you go back, it despawns, it no longer exists. And, sorry about ya. A little thing pops up on the screen that just says, sorry about ya. It's a real tragedy. Here, I'm gonna... It's a pleasant sound that this thing makes.
Yeah.
I can't do it, but...
I don't know what it is he's standing on, but it just kind of looks like 2 old suitcases.
Yeah. That's just how things roll in Mario World, you know?
Yeah.
They're really into upcycling things. Alright.
Do you think that at this point Charles Martinet is like he's recorded so much Mario that if he died, they'd be able to just keep using him forever?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Do you
Like,
think they would, or would they like out of
recast him.
respect? Yeah, recast.
Mario would take a vow of silence for the rest of his days. Do you think that when Charles Martinet dies, they'll just put on Nintendo's Twitter or something, Mario going, "Oh no!" Ba-dum-ba-ba-da-ba-bum-ba-bum. Yeah, I have to imagine that if he dies, like, how much more audio do they need of him? Like, they've got him going, you know, like, "Let's go!" and "Wahoo!" Like, it's...
Yeah. And like all the just random nonsense noises that he makes, like or whatever. Like just I don't know what Charles Martinet does. Like he just makes noises, and I don't.
I mean, that's the, I've always wanted to, like... So, I don't know how it works for a video game, right? But, like, think of, like, a video game like Uncharted or something.
Yeah.
They've got to record, like, hours of, Nolan North just going like, ah! Oof! Like...
Yeah, they...
Is that just one day of just him grunting?
It's gotta be. I wonder if they like save that for the like end, or if that's harder and they have to like start it off and that's how he gets warmed up.
Or yeah, right, yeah, or like, okay, you've recorded your lines for the day. We're gonna do the last 15 minutes. Just give us some grunts and yells. Like, your voice is shot anyway. Just do the ah. I'm gonna try this trick that I saw in a speedrun once, and if it doesn't work, there is a recovery for it, Tyler. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, gotta lead him over here. Okay, I'm not gonna get it because I forgot how to do it, but it'll be fine. You're supposed to take the cannon over here, but you can't just jump on that guy and come down here. There's a way that you can go all the way around and just land directly on the star over here. This one, when I was a kid, I didn't get for a long time because I didn't know that you could long jump. And you have to long jump across that gap to get there.
Wow.
There we go. Yeah, we're gonna stop when I'm finished with the first floor here, Tyler.
Okay.
We're almost done. We're almost there. Because I have done all of Bob-omb Battlefield. I've done all of Cool Cool Mountain. Done all of Jolly Roger Bay, except for one that I need to come back to later. I've done all of Whomp's Fortress. Next is this room. Look, you just... Woo! right in here. That wasn't really a window, Tyler. What do you think?
What the fuck?
I know! Mysteries abound! A lot of people when they were kids had trouble with this slide. And the secret to the slide is keep pressing forward and always try to stay in the middle of the slide and you'll almost always get it. You've got to beat it in 21 seconds to get that star. It's easy peasy, Tyler.
Wow. You're an expert. You should have been on the Nintendo hotline to tell people what to do.
I should have been. Now it doesn't exist. I applied to a job that essentially did that.
Yeah.
And I was stunned that that's still an option. Like, in a world where GameFAQs exists.
Yeah.
Or, like, if you yell out loud, somebody will tell you how to do something in a video game. Like, somebody will, like, peek in your window and say it. Because video games are so mainstream now. But I applied for a job to do that, but they only paid $9 an hour.
Jesus.
Yeah! And I was like, I don't want to do a customer service job for $9 an hour. That's... Even if this would be, like, a super easy job. Because it was seriously, just people, like, calling into a hotline and asking, like, how do I get this star in Mario? Or, like, it was like a tips line, which I was stunned. But, $9 an hour, no thanks.
Yeah. I got paid $10.50 an hour to take AARP calls, but I had to pay for my own internet and phone service.
That's bullshit. Also, you only got paid $10.50 an hour for that?
Yep.
I was getting paid $17 an hour when I was working at a call center.
Yeah, different call centers are better. Like, I got paid better at DirecTV, but not much. It was like, I think, like $11.50 or something.
Good lord, Tyler. These people have got no respect for you!
That's why I never tried very hard.
Yeah, that's why I will never... Did you see that? I just walked off the edge.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why I'll never work in customer service again, is because you get absolutely zero respect from the customers or your employer, and it is soul-destroying, mind-numbing, horrible work.
It's the worst. I can't think of anything that's, like, mentally worse for somebody.
Right, than just getting screamed at for 8 hours a day.
Yeah, and, like, getting in trouble. If somebody's not screaming at you, you're in trouble. Like,
Right.
get back on that phone so people can scream some more.
Right. And
while the people are screaming, you have to try to sell them things.
And if you try to defend yourself, you get in trouble. Like you can't just say to them, "Listen, this is just my job. I don't know why you're mad at me." The day that I got fired from my job, I said, "Oh, for Christ's sake," to somebody on the phone. There was a certain part of me, I think, that was trying to get fired from that job. I don't think I was consciously doing it. What the fuck?! I just walked right off the edge again, Tyler.
Damn, you gotta be careful.
Yeah, I went, oh, for Christ's sake, this old lady started screaming at me. And then that made her start screaming at me more, so I hung up on her. Which is like the huge no-no in customer service, is never hang up on the customer.
Yeah. It 100% makes me a bad person, but the lowest moment I maybe ever had in customer service was working for DirecTV. An old lady calling in and like screaming her lungs out at me, like no matter what I did, like just constantly berating me.
Yeah.
And then she fell down and like started like crying, like "ow," and I just sat there and listened to it and smiled. I was really happy.
Holy shit!
It was, yeah, but she was fine.
Okay.
She just like it wasn't like if like I thought that she was like actually in like danger or something, I would have gotten like called 911 or something. But
Right, yeah.
no, she just like tripped on something and fell down, like, bumped her knee or something.
I was just picturing she like broke her hip and this. Ah! I had some lady, like this was again in my final days when I worked in customer service. She had me on speakerphone, right? Which is, you've worked on the phones before, it sucks when they're on speakerphone.
Yeah.
But she was, like, she had her phone on her desk and she was doing shit at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she was, like, moving stuff around and rustling papers and shit. And so, they tell you when you work in customer service on the phone to say, like, hey, I'm sorry to ask, but do you have me on speakerphone? And then if they say yes, you go, oh, I'm sorry, there's something next to the phone making noise, and it's making it hard for me to hear you, and if the best way for me to help you is if I can hear what you're saying to me. You know, you had to do through all that shit, right? You know, like, is what we were coached to do. And so I asked her, like, hey, sorry to ask, but do you have me on speakerphone right now? And she goes, no. And I said, okay, well, there's something making some background noise in the room that you're talking to me in, and I'm having some trouble hearing you. And she goes, oh yeah, sorry. I'm like, okay, whatever. But she keeps doing it, and I have no idea what she's doing, but it sounds like she was like shuffling a deck of cards or something, like a real like like kind of noise over and over again, and like just moving shit around on the desk, and like, and finally I'm like, hey, are you sure you don't have me on speakerphone? Because again, like, you're talking to me and then I just can't hear you what you're saying. And she goes, no, I don't have you on speakerphone. I'm like, okay, fine. And she finally, I asked her a third time, I'm like, are you know, like, there's something next to the phone that's making a lot of noise, and if you have me on speakerphone, I don't mind, but can you stop making that noise, because I can't hear you? And she goes, I told you I'm not on speakerphone! And finally I just told her, listen, I don't like being lied to. She has to speak to my supervisor! And I was like, okay, I'll go get him. I got yelled at by my supervisor for saying that to a customer. She was fucking pissed, though. She's like, what did you say to me? I was like, yeah, it was fantastic. She was so mad.
Yeah, God, I loved like finding ways. Like, I mean, I wouldn't try to be mean to somebody if it seemed like they genuinely like were trying their best and like needed help with something. But like if somebody is being like a piece of shit, like I love to just like find ways to make them like upset.
Just
Like,
fuck
just-
with him.
Yeah, like all you have to do, like you can't get in trouble as long as you say things as if like you're intending to say something helpful or nice, and you always say it in like just in a positive tone. Like you could, I would just always do shit like that. Like I don't know, I can't think of any particular examples at the moment.
One of mine was so I worked in car insurance, right? And I took claims online when somebody would damage their vehicle, and the guy had a fifth wheel trailer. You know what I'm talking?
Yeah.
It's one of those big ones that you like put in the bed of a pickup truck, or in the bed of the pickup truck, and like it hooks onto the back, but it also is hooked onto the back of the truck. And what happened was it wasn't secured, and when he backed up, the top part of the fifth wheel hit the top and the back glass of his truck. So I was taking the claim for that. And he didn't want to claim damage on the fifth wheel, but I do need to document it as a separate vehicle, right? Because it's technically a collision, because two vehicles collided. And I explained this to him, and I said, you know, most likely what they're going to do is treat it, you know, like not two vehicles, but you hit a stationary object, but I do need to gather information on the fifth wheel. Because fifth wheels are technically vehicles, because they have a VIN number, a vehicle identification number. That way, if they get stolen or whatever, they can be identified because they have a serial number. I'm explaining all this to him, and I'm like, okay, so I just need to get the information on the fifth wheel. I just need to know, you know, the make and model of it, where it's usually stored, that kind of thing. And he's freaking out. He's like, I just want to get my fucking truck fixed. I don't want to get the fucking fifth wheel fixed. And so I just decided I'm going to take like 30 minutes on this call, and I'm just going to keep asking him about the fifth wheel. Everything I can think. I was asking him what fucking color it was. I said, is there any damage to it at all? He goes, yes, there is. And I'm like, well, what panels of the fifth wheel are damaged? And he goes, doesn't matter what fucking panels on the fifth wheel are damaged. Okay, well, who's the owner of the fifth wheel? And who is it insured through? I didn't need to know any of that shit. But he's going fucking ballistic, screaming at me. And I was like, sir, I'm sorry, but this is just my job, and I'm required to ask these questions. You're not required to answer. You can just say you don't know or you don't have that information right now. And he's just going fucking bonkers. Asked him, like, what color it was, and I was like, okay, well, I know a lot of those fifth wheels have, like, a stripe or some kind of, like, livery going down the side of them. Can you tell me if there's anything like that on there? Like... And he's going fucking crazy, and I'm just piling it on him. Oh, man, it felt so good. Anyway, Tyler, that's what I'm going to call it for this evening. Thanks for jumping in with me and watching me play Super Mario 64.
No problem.
I'll do some more of these as the week goes on. Just kinda, you know, it's one of my favorite video games ever made.
Yeah.
It's Super Mario.
So long, Gay Bowser.
I can't